his leg and said, now listen, Jack, straighten up and fly right.
Dear Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and dear guests, what we just presented is called bird in acro-yoga. Acro-yoga? It does exactly what it says on the tin. It's a combination of yoga and acrobatics. It requires a minimum of 2 people. And obviously a relatively straight spine, flexibility, and a very strong base. Has anyone ever told you that you can't do something, that you have certain limitations? That's exactly what happened to me. And I was a little girl back then. I was barely 7 years old. And I really wanted to go to a ballet school. I remember to this day when I was going to the school, I was on my way to the school for the exam. And I remember this big room, brightly lit, and the creaking wooden floors. And then a couple of hours later, waiting in the waiting room in this dark corridor, I was not accepted. I was so disappointed. A dream of a little girl was crushed. It was one of the hardest experiences at such a young age. And following that, I never did any gymnastics related because they told me, well, you're not flexible enough. You can't go to this school because we need people with a lot more flexibility. And that's the reason I never did any gymnastics related sports. That is, until last year. 12 months ago, I was living in Russia and I wanted to know what's going on in Europe. So I was scrolling through my phone, I saw my friends on Facebook put up some videos, and I saw him doing some weird things that looked really cool, and I thought, wow, what is it? Turned out it was acro-yoga, and I thought, wow, I must try it. I was very surprised to find out that in the small Siberian town I was living in, there were acro-yoga classes. Mm-hmm. I quickly signed up, and following the first class, I became a practicing acro-yogi. There was a team of amazing teachers. The first position we presented is called bird. Now, I'm going to show you something that's called a straddle bat. That is like the next position you learn in acro-yoga. Hold on a second. Can you see me from there? Okay, let me sit on a chair. Oh, much better. So, acro-yoga. In addition to working all sorts of different muscles in the body, it helped me with a number of other things, such as patience. I'm a lot more patient person than I used to be. No doubt I'm still far from perfect, and Charles can vouch for that. But I'm certainly a lot better than I used to be. Balance, both physical and mental, because naturally exercise helps you get a more balanced life. Patience, persistence. Some moves, acro-yoga is actually quite hard, and sometimes it takes months to perfect certain moves. So you require a lot of persistence, you have to keep going at it. But let's go back to the acro-yoga itself. I don't think I told you, exactly what it looks like. So, acro yoga for a little. Okay, acro yoga requires a minimum of 2 people, like I said earlier. A flyer who is always at the top, and a base who is always at the bottom. And believe me, it's a lot harder for the base than it is for the flyer. Acro yoga, in addition to these amazing benefits, it actually helped me build up my strength. Core muscles, it's one of the most important parts when you work any sort of gymnastics, really. Kinesthetic awareness, it helps me, especially when you are balancing in the air, you get a fantastic spatial awareness. And last but not least, stretching. I was never able to stretch. The reason I didn't get into the school, ballet school, was because I was not flexible enough. Now, well, I still can't really stretch that well, but I am at least able to touch my toes. Acro yoga helped me overcome some insecurities that I had. I really enjoyed it. I'm not the best, I'm far from the best. I'm probably one of the least flexible people in the class. And I can't do handstands, I can't do splits, not yet. But I'm enjoying it, it brings me lots of joy. Don't let anyone tell you that you can't do something or you are not good enough. Don't misinterpret things that people tell you. It's you and only you who can set your limits.